It's doing it now. We're recording. Brian standing to attention. I can't hear the national anthem.
Brian.
I don't want to see Brian's groinal area. That's great.
All right.
Anybody watch the match last night?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you won again.
Yeah. All right.
Good game.
Okay. I'll see you.
Was it?
Ladies cricket,
Right,
are we
right,
talking about?
right.
But Keith,
All
what's
right.
his name? Roy Keane
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, said,
Brian.
used
Take
the
care.
word sloppy, and
Yeah.
Klopp heard it out of context and went ballistic. Sloppy, but it's sloppy.
Schweinhund?
Careful now.
I'm only thinking about the comics I used to read as a kid where I learned
I know.
the German. Achtung Spitfjorden, I know that one.
I know. They were great, those
Yeah.
comics,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
but the snowflakes won't let us read them now.
No.
There you go. Won't get them on the library. Have we got a full hoop?
It's all quiet on the Western Front, isn't it?
It is. There's not much happening at the moment.
What's going on?
Everybody's got a long face. Weekend.
Right. Are we? I think this is about it for today. So, John, can you tell us any news of the group, please?
No. Anyway, I was talking to Stuart this morning, and he were on his way up West Street to Hallamshire for some chemotherapy. As cheerful as ever. I don't know how he does it, but he's doing okay, steady. I was in touch with Ray from Manor Sporting Memories. He's just had a second ankle operation. I mean, he was a jockey and jumped off horses like Frankie Dettori every time he won a race. Well, every time he won the 3 races he won, jumping off his horse and not injured at all. And he going downstairs at home, he's damaged his ankle severely. But he's had 2 operations now, and he hopes that this second one will work. And Old John, those of you that remember Old John from Crystal Peaks and Manor Library, he's got lymphedema at the moment. He's got one leg about 3 times the size of the other one.
Oh dear.
But he's chugging along okay. And the last thing I want to mention is we've got what's Keith got in common with the Munich Olympics?
Go on.
72 tomorrow, Keith.
72.
72
Yeah.
tomorrow.
No,
I would
on
have thought I'd
Thursday.
have put 18 years on that personally.
It's on Thursday, John.
Thursday?
Yeah.
What date is it today? Because my watch has not got a date on.
It's
29.
29.
29th. Well, bugger off then. Anyway. It's Keith's birthday on Thursday. He's having
Yeah.
2
Get away.
this year.
Can't
Yeah,
possibly.
two birthdays he's having.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I've just given him, and his proper one.
And still no cake.
Right then, mate, that's it.
Right.
Happy birthday for
All
Thursday.
right. So we'll move on to LOL's news of the week.
News of the week. Lols, news of the week.
Yeah, carry on going, John. The first story is a little bit of a tribute to an author, Martin Westby, who died last week. Now, he was the author of A History of Sheffield Football from 1857 to 1889 and England's oldest football clubs 1815 to 89. Now, after being diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma in March last year, 63-year-old Martin, who was born in Sheffield and supported Sheffield United, passed away. He was also a trustee of the Sheffield Home of Football campaign and designed a Sheffield Home of Football walking tour app in 2017, which mapped areas in the city where football was developed.
Yeah, it's extremely
It has
sharp.
been downloaded thousands
Extremely
of
sharp,
times
that. I mean,
from
I
users
can't- I don't
around
know.
the world. Now, an important piece of Sheffield's rich footballing history, worth thousands of pounds, has been recovered after more than 20 years. The long-lost Sheffield and Hallamshire FA County Cup trophy turned up for sale on eBay earlier this month. priced at £2,900, a fraction of its true value. Launched in 1920, the Cup was played between South Yorkshire's 5 professional clubs until it was abolished in 1998. Barnsley were the last winners of the competition in 1993, with teams choosing to pay opt-out fees rather than take part from then on. But when Sheffield and Hallamshire FA requested the return of the Cup for display at their Clegg House base 20 years ago, it was found to be missing. Now Martin, he tracked it down.
Noel,
Well, hello.
Go. It's more than a month ago. It's more like a year ago they found it.
Oh, well, according to the news I saw, it's recent.
No, it's not. But anyway, carry on.
it's fake
Well,
news.
carry
Noel.
on then.
Fake
I think it's
news.
because it's linked to Martin, that's why.
Yeah.
It's found to be missing. Martin tracked it down with the help of Chris Eyre, Sheffield and Hallamshire County historian, as part of a campaign to find the whereabouts of 12 missing Sheffield football trophies from the 19th century. Martin struck a deal with the antiques dealer selling the trophy to buy it for £2,000 and bring it back to its rightful place. When reunited with its base, which has remained at Clegg House all these years, its value could be 10 times what he paid for it. So that's old news then, is it? Keith, where's he gone?
Keith's gone and he's muted John. You've got a full reign. Go for it, mate. Fill your boots.
Rugby Union. Now the
You're
chief executive,
muted, John.
Look at him. Oh, I've
the
never
chief
been so happy.
executive of the World Rugby, Brett Gosper, is extremely worried about the Six Nations if crowds do not return. He says that some unions will go bust without government help, possibly by the turn of the year. Gosper estimates the Six Nations will be losing more than £100 million in revenue if paying fans are excluded from matches. He hopes that broadcast funding can be sufficient to keep the unions going through the Six Nations. Now, the New Zealand Rugby has criticised December's Rugby Championship schedule because it means players will be forced to spend Christmas in quarantine. The All Blacks play Australia in Sydney on the 12th of December and would need to self-isolate for 14 days on their return home under COVID protocols. Argentina and South Africa will also compete in the 6-week competition, and Chief Executive Mark Robinson says they haven't agreed to this schedule and are very disappointed at the announcement. A little bit on darts. Now, 5-time world champion Raymond van Barneveld has announced plans to come out of retirement and attend the Professional Darts Corporation qualifying school next year. 53-year-old Barney, who relinquished his professional status at the end of 2019, says he misses playing so much and he wants to win back a PDC tour card and resurrect his career in darts. Now, a little bit of cricket. Now, former Australia batsman Dean Jones has died at the age of 59. Jones passed away in Mumbai, where he was working as a commentator on TV coverage of the India Premier League. Stylish in the middle order, Jones played 52 tests from 84 to 92, averaged 46.55 runs and winning the Ashes on 2 occasions. He was also part of the Australian team that beat England in a thrilling World Cup final in 1987. Bit on Formula One. Now, Lewis Hamilton's quest for the all-time record of Formula One wins was put on hold when he was hit with penalties at the Russian Grand Prix. His Mercedes teammate, Valtteri Bottas, dominated after the world champion was given a 10-second penalty for doing 2 illegal practice starts to win the race. Hamilton was now on the verge of a 1-race ban because of accumulated licence penalty points. Again, starting on pole, Hamilton had his lead in the Drivers' Championship cut to 44 points over Bottas. But since the race, the Formula One bosses have rescinded the 2 penalty points handed to Hamilton which had moved him to within 2 points of an automatic ban, and instead fined his Mercedes team €25,000.
Who came second? Who came second in that race?
Verstappen.
Verstappen.
Thank you. Thank you. I didn't know who would come second.
And Hamilton, after his 10-second penalty, were in 11th place, and he worked his way back to 3rd.
Do you think Mercedes had fixed that for Bottas?
Possibly. I mean, I know very little about Formula One. I watch little bits and try and keep up to date. But it seems like a Mickey Mouse competition. They keep the petty rules they've got are incredible. And if I were in Hamilton's situation, I would think that they were out to get me. It's a bit like the decision against United. You know, you get paranoid about it, and you think, what's the hidden agenda here? Nonsense.
What came out of it, John? What came out of it? There are the FIA rules, and then there's local rules. And that decision was made by the Russian adjudicators.
Ridiculous.
And I rather think, because it's getting same old with Lewis winning all the time, whether even Mercedes have thought, well, we're not going to lose the championship, you know, if we let Bottas win, so let's make it a bit more interesting. All sorts of conspiracy theories, but I agree with you. Apart from the race itself, the rules, a bit like football, they're all Mickey Mouse. I mean,
they seem to make them up to suit them. Don't get me on football rules. Yeah.
Hamilton has done this before, but never been penalised for it.
No.
Well, that's
he
because
cleared it first.
That's because the local adjudicator in Russia took it upon himself to say, no, we can't let this go.
Yep.
You know, which they're perfectly entitled to do, but Mickey Mouse, as John says, and the one you passed earlier on football, I'm surprised nobody's mentioned the handball rule yet, but I wondered if we could spend the whole of the next session.
It'll come up, Ian.
Right. Now, Lewis
What was that,
Hamilton.
Darth?
Hey, what's John?
No, Darth Vader spoke then.
Oh, sorry.
I said it will come up.
It'll crop up, don't worry.
Handball rule.
Yeah.
Now, going back to Lewis Hamilton, he has been named in Time magazine's list of the world's 100 most influential people. The Mercedes driver said he was proud to be included in the list, which also includes tennis star Naomi Osaka and athlete Alison Felix. Time's profile of Hamilton is written by Bubba Wallace, the only black driver in the American NASCAR stock car series. Wallace described Hamilton as an inspiration for everyone. Again, talking about Hamilton, he has vowed to increase the number of black people in motor racing, naming a group to analyse the causes of a lack of diversity. The British Formula One World Champion said members of his Hamilton Commission together will make a change. Hamilton will lead a group of 14 members, which includes Formula Sports Minister Tracy Crouch and ex-McLaren F1 boss Martin Whitmarsh.
Yeah.
Now, Hollywood stars Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney are interested in investing in Wrexham FC. Deadpool's star Reynolds and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia's McEnally will share their vision for the club with members at a special general meeting. The club, which has been in fan ownership since 2011, say any potential takeover could lead to £2 million being invested in the club. A little bit on tennis. Andy Murray, he suffered the joint heaviest Grand Slam defeat of his career as he lost in the French Open first round to Swiss 16 seed Stan Wawrinka. Murray only won 6 games in his comprehensive 6-1, 6-3, 6-2 defeat. Now, England women, they won the second 2020 match against the West Indies by 47 runs, ironically the same margin as in the first match. Batting first, England scored 151 for 8 in their 20 overs. Then the West Indies, making a good start, reaching 72 for 1 before collapsing to 104 for 8, which
Oh,
put
Richard.
England 2-0 up in the series. Then on Saturday, England cruised to another win by 20 runs to put them 3-0 up in the series. And last night, England again won by 44 runs to take a 4-0 series lead with the final match tomorrow.
You should have catching practice. Here, Dave, when you were at Woodthorpe School and you were in Rounders team, which I'm sure you were, didn't you have catching practice? Like Mr. Waddilove? He used to throw it, you have a circle of us, and he'd throw it 40, 50 feet in air, and then he'd name somebody and they had to get under it and catch it. And catching improved enormously. That wicket keeper needs that sort of practice.
John,
Yeah.
they reckon it's a combination of the fact she's not practicing catching with her helmet on and in a floodlit environment.
Yeah.
They reckon the guard and everything takes her eye off the ball. But she missed a sitter, didn't she?
Yeah, well, she's missed 3 that I've seen. So.
Yeah.
Stump. She's very good behind the stumps.
It's not easy. I'll grant you, it's not easy, but practice makes almost perfect.
Yeah.
If you got ability.
Career out then. Yeah.
Been a poor team, no West Indies, aren't there? There's only Deandra Dottin.
Yeah,
who
that's
can bat
really
for
good.
them. She's a damn good batsman. Now,
Chris,
Essex,
Chris Old, you know much about the West Indian ladies cricket because you know a lot about West Indian cricket. Do you know much about the West Indies ladies?
Hey, can you rephrase that question?
Tell us about the West Indian ladies, you know.
I could tell you quite a lot, but it goes back to what I said previously. What's on tour stays on tour. But I have to say, sorry, I have no interest in it at all. So I don't watch a ball of it, so I'm the last person to ask for an opinion.
Why?
did anybody watch it on Saturday when it was on?
Because it's
I
not
did.
the game I like. It's not the game I want to watch.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like watching it. It's not the same standard, but
No.
it's like watching ladies golf. There's different
I don't
techniques.
watch that either.
Well, Chris, I would commend it to you. There
Yeah,
are
I do.
listen to what I'm about to say. There are things that women can do with golf that a man can never do.
I'd rather go with John to a game at Hillsborough.
Blimey.
Chris,
Hold on
Chris,
a minute.
Chris, do you watch beach volleyball?
Beach volleyball, fantastic game.
Did anybody watch it on Saturday, the ladies 2020? Saturday afternoon?
I'm a bit like Chris.
Yes, I thought so, but Chris doesn't think so.
Nat Skyver, she got 82. She batted well.
Yeah. What does Chris know about cricket? Come on, let's be honest.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not all.
I've learned that in the last 6 weeks.
While we're talking about beach volleyball, we were on a cruise once that stopped at Stavanger, and when we got off, there was a stadium that had been put up at the dockside, and it turned out the World Beach Volleyball Championships.
It'd be cold up there.
Yeah.
Even in summer.
It was in June, and the temperature
Yeah, but
was 35 degrees.
how many?
35. But it was incredible.
Fahrenheit. Quite
Um,
warm in
uh,
Scandinavia in summer.
Yeah. So I, out of a bit of interest, I just stood and watched a little bit of it.
Of course you did.
Which little bit did you watch?
About 5 hours.
Afterwards, I found out through some friends of mine who have got their own sports shop, because I said to them, how come they wear these skimpy costumes? Because surely playing on sand and that, and in where it might be a bit colder, is it's not good. And instead, there are rules governing the size of the top.
Yes.
And apparently, the bottom part of the bikini
Yes.
can only be about
Window.
that wide at the waist. It's incredible that obviously these rules have been
Designed by men.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just, I thought I'd throw that in.
I just wonder about the sand, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Gets everywhere, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the old joke. What's in it for me, Stan? Yeah.
Anyway,
Chris, yes, Chris.
In my own self-defence, I can say that I have played in a ladies' cricket match.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
We
wasn't
got first
told
ball.
that I wasn't told until I got there that in order to qualify to play in the match, I had to wear a skirt.
So
I played in the game in that manner.
You haven't got one on now, have you, Chris?
Pardon?
You've not got one on now, have you?
Well, I'm not going to
Because you
show
have
that I have.
uh,
Have you got a picture of that, Chris?
No pictures were allowed.
and
Just happened to have a skirt in his bag.
his name in the team was Chris Doubtfire.
Yeah, like what you said, Paul the Biscuit. Yeah.
So he just happened to have a skirt in his bag.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Next to his tutu.
Go on then, Lon.
Okay, we'll just finish
Oh,
off.
it's all still here. Yeah.
Essex drew with Somerset in the Bob Willis Trophy final and took the title as they scored more than Somerset in the first innings. The defeat means Somerset's wait for a first county championship title continues. So, Essex
What
are
a
the new
bizarre
champions.
way, excuse me, what a bizarre way to decide a game. They scored more in the first innings.
And that decided it.
It used to be regular, that, John.
Did it? Well, it's
Used to be
nonsense.
regular first
Whether
innings
it was
lead.
regular or not, it's nonsense, surely.
Well, it's just
I'm
the
sorry
one
for
I've
calling
done.
you Shirley, by the way.
I used to be regular once.
Prunes.
We'll finish off with football. Now, Bayern Munich, who thrashed Schalke 8-0 in their first match of the new season, beat Sevilla 2-1 to claim the UEFA Super Cup. There were 15,180 supporters present in the 67,000 capacity Puskás Arena in Budapest, the first major European game in which fans have been admitted since the pandemic. Sevilla took the lead with a penalty after 13 minutes before Bayern equalised 11 minutes before half-time. The game finished 1-1 after normal time, with Bayern winning the match with a goal at the end of the first half of extra time. The victory made it 32 games unbeaten in all competitions for the treble winners, while they ended Sevilla's own 21-game unbeaten run. Now, ex-Huddersfield. You saying, John?
Sorry, it's just the window cleaner. Sorry, he was more interested in you than you, Lol. Sorry about that.
It's all right. Aren't they all? Ex-Huddersfield manager David Wagner has been sacked by Schalke after the German Bundesliga side suffered a second consecutive defeat at the start of a new season. This leaves Schalke without a win in their last 18 league games. The 48-year-old Wagner, who joined Schalke in 2019 after 3 years in charge of Huddersfield, where he oversaw their promotion to the Premier League in 2016-17, had a good start to last season as they moved into Champions League contention with 3 defeats in the first 17 games. Now, some really bad news down at Bramall Lane, where it has been announced that defender Jack O'Connell is possibly out for the season. He needs an operation on a knee that he injured last season. He's tried to come back, but a scan shows the need to operate on the popular 26-year-old, which is terrible news for a man being tipped for a possible England call-up this season. So it's a shame they didn't operate on him in the close. Now, Man City they suffered a surprise 5-2 home defeat at the hands of Leicester. Despite only having 28% possession, the Foxes, with a hat-trick by Jamie Vardy, proved it's what you do with the ball, not how long you've have it in your possession. In 686 league games as a manager, Pep Guardiola has only had 3 hat-tricks scored against his teams, and 2 of those were by Vardy. Does anybody know who scored the other one?
Lionel Messi.
Correct. Also, it is the first time one of his teams has conceded 5 goals in a single match. The Man U, they are the first team to win a match after the final whistle has blown. The game ended 2-2 on the referee's whistle, but VAR again intervened and a penalty was awarded, which Manchester United scored to win the match 3-2 for a foul on a Reds player right at the death.
Is this the start of Solskjaer time?
Yeah, it could be.
But it's ridiculous.
I might be wrong, but I think the rules state that if there is a penalty, the time's got to be extended to take the penalty.
Yes.
Yeah,
Now,
but they didn't know there was a penalty.
Then we've got VAR now.
Yeah, you're correct, Ron.
It's a handball.
Right.
But Eric Dyer's was ridiculous, wasn't it, when he was fouled playing for Tottenham?
Eric
Now
Dyer
he's back to the ball. Hits it from,
was rubbish.
Yeah.
The Crystal Palace defenders one was rubbish. I personally, I thought the only one that was correct was the Brighton players, because he was.
Yeah.
So why has he got his arm up
Yeah.
in the position that he had? It was so. I thought that one was right, but I thought that the others were rubbish.
Vardy could have had 4 goals if he'd have stayed on, because he would have took the penalty.
Yeah.
Keith, did you hear Roy Hodgson's, what I thought, level-headed explanation about the handball? It says it's dead easy, really. If the ball hits the hand, it's a foul. not the player hitting the ball. And
Yes. Yeah.
so basically, if there's a deliberate intent to handle a ball, then that's a foul and or a penalty. Other way around, inadvertent, ball contact to hand should not be a foul. And
Well, that's how it's always used to be.
But that's the current rules, and FIFA will not change them because they want to see more goals in games. Well, why you want to see more goals from penalties, I'm not sure, but FIFA will not change the rules, and apparently it's not causing any controversy in Europe. Spain, Germany are just living with it. The Spurs one shouldn't have mattered anyway. They should have been 4 or 5-0 up.
Yeah. Yes, Dave.
Ron, sorry, go on.
All right, go on, Ian.
Ron raises an interesting point there. At what point can we say, for a purely national game, we work to our own rules, and when we play internationally,
We can't.
You can't.
We can't.
Why?
The rules are set by IFAB, which is the FIFA thing. They set the rules for football, and it's been decided by FIFA that they want everybody to play with the same rules all over the world.
Well, I think it's time Sheffield.
So we can't change it. The only way it could change is if they.
Well, I think it's
the only way it could be changed is if the referees refuse to stick by it. But what I'm listening to, the referee said if they did that, they wouldn't be refereeing next week.
Yeah. Okay, Dave.
I agree with what's been said about this, but there was an article on Sky the other day about this, and it said that in Europe, this rule had been implemented last year.
It was.
Yeah.
So in that case, this business about the laws in English football and Europe can't be right, surely, if they were implementing this rule. And it gave you a figure of how many goals were scored from, or penalties were given for handball in Europe, and it was probably twice or even three times as much as we had.
Yeah, it was 3 and nearly 4 times as many.
Yeah.
Countries.
Yeah, but so if were operating that rule last year in Europe, why can't we operate our old rule, as it were, this year?
Yeah,
Must
I
be
agree.
why we voted for Brexit.
I know it's academic, but because nobody's going to watch the matches. But when people pay to watch football, why should they be subjected to those damn silly rules?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you noticed that one of the programs highlighted the fact, and I think it was Man City, but you now see the defenders, when they're going to block the ball, they put their hands behind the backs.
Yeah,
Tottenham's been taught to train like
that was
that.
Tottenham.
Is it Tottenham?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me,
Mourinho's.
it's unnatural. You know,
Yeah.
Personally, I don't get it.
No, but a lot of them also make the mistake of then turning sideways.
Yeah.
They put their hands behind the back and then they turn sideways. So it hits their lower arm anyway.
Yeah.
Is it within the
Nonsense.
silhouette? Is
It'll
it
soon
within
get
the
to the
silhouette?
stage.
Player?
Oh, go on.
Paul?
I'm
Yes,
just going to
Paul?
say, it'll soon get to the stage where attacking players start flicking the ball up to
Well, they're
hit
doing it
defenders.
already.
Yeah.
They're doing it, Paul.
They're doing it already.
When they
Yeah.
do, when they start doing that, that's when they'll change the rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. They definitely
Apparently,
already.
according to FIFA, non-footballing fans like to see penalties. So they want to see more penalties because they think they'll get more sponsorship and earn more money.
So
It's rubbish.
Absolute
Football's not all about goals. It's certainly not all about penalty goals.
No. People don't want to see false results of games because people are manufacturing penalties. It's nonsense.
It's a little bit like when we were kids and played in street or in park. You're winning 17-0 and you say, oh, next goal's winner.
next goal's winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it always was.
Till you had to go in for your tea.
Yes. And if it were your ball, well,
Your game.
Yeah, you'd walk off with it. Yeah, but we're still playing. Yeah, but my mum's calling for me tea. It's my ball.
Happy days.
Happy days.
lol. Any more?
The goalpost.
Oh, well,
Come on, Lol, get a move on.
I'll just finish it off at the beginning next half. It's just a couple about United on Wednesday, that's all. But there's less than a minute now.
Skip
Yeah,
that.
so we'll end this one and start again in 5 minutes. Okay.
Well done, Lol.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.